Adios 2024 and hello 2025. Yes, my tree is still up. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being here with me in the new year. And if you're new to my channel,
well then it's about damn time. I can't believe it took you until 2025 to find me.
All jokes aside, let's talk about money in the new year. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I learned in 2024 and how I was able to do pretty well despite a lot of financial challenges, including inflation, including shouldering the costs of having a child on my own, including daycare, having a salary freeze at work, and living in one of the highest cost of living areas in the United States. Despite all of that, I was still able to initiate an e-commerce business. I was able to save up over $8,000 and I was able to pay off over $3,000 in debt. All of that while still supporting my son and myself. Call me Miss Independent. But for real, here is some of my advice. Before you start even planning for 2025, take a look at 2024. Did you have financial goals for 2024? And if you did, be honest about what worked and what didn't work for you. Look at your bank statement for the year, get yourself a highlighter or write on a separate piece of paper and go over in detail your expenses for the year. First, figure out how much money you spent on reoccurring costs like rent, utilities, groceries, daycare if you have young kids. Look at how much you had left over on average each month and then figure out what you typically did with that leftover money. I will tell you that a common trap that even I myself have fallen into before are things like the Amazon Prime deals and other discount deals that are out there, especially when it comes to online shopping. What happens is that people see something that they like, that they don't need, but they will see the price comparisons when it's on Amazon Prime versus if you were to buy it retail, and they inevitably think to themselves, or it will be marketed for them, that they are saving $10, $20 and they don't have to pay for shipping either. So it's just this great deal. And a lot of times it is. I'm not saying that you can't look for deals or you can't look for bargains. I am a Ross Burlington Goodwill shopper. But what I am saying to you is that the reality is that the deals and discounts add up throughout the year. Once again, for those of you in the back who didn't hear me the first time, I'm not saying that you can't ever buy something that you just like, that you just want, that you don't necessarily need. I buy stuff that I want too. I'm just saying to try and be mindful of this as we start going into the new year and you have your new financial goals that you want to meet. Think about how these things are being marketed to you. Think about if it's something that you actually really need, and think about how often you're making these types of expenses. Nowadays, we have the power to shop, order food, order coffee, do pretty much everything just from the palm of our hands. Trust me, that convenience can really cut through your finances. So, go through your bank statement or whatever it is that you use to track your expenses. And if you don't track your expenses, then we got another problem. But seriously, look at your expenses month to month, how you spent during 2024. It can be really eye-opening to see where your expenses go. Start there. Now let's talk SMART goals. Just kidding. I can't stand having anything on my face. It just seems like for some reason all the smart people wear glasses. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. For example, instead of just saying that I want to save money by the end of the year, set a SMART goal. Think about specifically how much money it is that you want to save and how you're going to do it. Let's say, for instance, I want to save $4,000 by the end of the year. That means that you are going to have to put away around $335 each month in order to meet that $4,000 goal by the end of the year. Then, if necessary, which it most likely is, figure out where you can cut back on your expenses in order to meet that $335 savings goal each month, or figure out how you can add to your income so that you don't have to cut back as much on expenses. There are a lot of great side hustles that you can do online, but the problem is that virtually all of them take time to start generating income and become solid income streams. So to make money right away, look into things like Shipt, Instacart, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Lyft, Amazon Flex. There are a lot of opportunities out there where you can make money immediately. A lot of it is just going to be about planning and time management. So this is the popular rule that a lot of financial advisors and financial YouTubers alike love to talk about. And I'm sure this is not your first time hearing it, but just in case it is, or if you need a little reminder, the 50-30-20 rule basically says that 50% of your income should go towards needs, 30% should go towards wants, and 20% should go towards savings. It's a great idea, but honestly, this rule is very outdated and out of touch in 2025. Like I said at the beginning of this video, as someone who lives in one of the highest cost of living areas in the country, someone working for an employer who has instated a salary freeze, even if I were living alone as a single person with no dependents, with no baby, I would not be able to make 50-30-20 work. However, what I do like about this rule is that it does kind of give you a frame of reference to keep yourself on track, and it helps you to measure your finances. My personal rule for my specific circumstance, honestly, is more like 60-20-20. Yours could be 70-15-15, or it could be 40-20-40. There are so many different factors to consider here when it comes to creating your own rule for your own expenses, which again is why I said at the beginning of the video, start first with tracking your expenses and looking where you may be overspending or spending unnecessarily. And then you can figure out what rule is going to work best for you. So this one is a little hard for me to talk about, and if you have been watching any of my previous videos, you probably already get that sense from me. The reason why it's hard for me to talk about this is because people want results right away. They want everything instant. But the reality is that just isn't going to happen with online income streams. Everything in the online income world takes time unless you are one of the very, very few that happen to get lucky right at the beginning. That is why earlier in the video, I gave you some examples of what you can do right now to start making money this week if you really need to. Making money online is one of the most powerful advantages that we have in modern day society. Building a brand, building awareness, building a presence on social media, all of that just takes time, consistency, and effort. I'm saying it with my glasses on now, so maybe you'll think I'm smart and you'll believe me. It takes time, consistency, and effort for your online streams to become solid income. I encourage everyone to get started on some type of an online income stream, because if you never get started, you're always gonna be making zero. You'll never make anything if you don't get started. For me personally, my focus has been on YouTube and podcasting, and I have not made any money whatsoever from either of those sources yet. Most people don't make anything in their first year of doing content creation. It's just the name of the game, but you gotta play to win. Look, life happens. Maybe your car breaks down. Maybe suddenly you have to move to another location. Adjust, refocus, and just keep pushing forward. I guarantee you that any goal you have ever set out to achieve has met you with setbacks, and you have been responsible for the comeback if you really wanted to achieve what you had set out to achieve. You either quit or you keep going, and they both hurt. Choose wisely. If this video helped you out at all, or if you just feel like starting 2025 out on the right foot, being a little generous, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe so that you can hang out with me more, and I will see you in the next video. Happy New Year.